Hello again, everyone. Welcome back to Suikoden 5. Alright, let's explore our newly expanded castle a little bit. Nothing up here has really changed much, but people have moved around. As you can see, Nakia, Isabel, and Matthias are not there. Din is not there. Some of them may be in the war room, but I'm not going to go in there just yet. Let's see. Hey, kitty. Norden is out here now.
You aren't like the nobles, Your Highness. I'm proud to be a member of the Dragonia army.
Okay. We'll go up to the top floor, see what has changed up there. If anyone has moved around. I probably could have given the old books to Alhazred earlier, but I kind of wanted to wait until he actually had a library. Yep, everyone in here has moved. These three are here still. The way these ruins were made, I know I've seen other ruins like this before. Could they all be related? Alright, I think they're saying the same things. Yeah, that's... See, I really feel like Zarase had a bit more, or... There was an intention to do more with her in the future. Just like, you know, they've continually given little drips of information about Jean from game to game. I think the important bits are what Kuroku saw, which is I mean, to an extent, could be a joke as opposed to actual, you know, reality of the situation. But I'm inclined to think that it was real. I mean, it was funny running around as Kuroku and everything like that, but there was nothing else that was clearly, you know, fake or pure comedy or anything besides that. So, and that was, you know, that he saw something other than what we see when he looked at her, and she told him not to tell anyone.
The army's gotten so large that there are now scuffles between soldiers sometimes. Just the other day, Wassel stopped a big fight from erupting. He sure has a knack for that kind of thing.
He likes to go wassailing.
You're looking for Lucretia? She's all by herself in the war room.
Okay. Can't go down that way now.
Apparently, everyone in Sable knows that Captain Din is very close to Lord Ralbill's daughter. In fact, they're so close that she even cooks for him sometimes. Captain Din always seems like the straight-laced type, but I guess he must have a way with the ladies.
Or maybe she has a thing for him? Just saying.
Lord Boz told me to get a mohawk.
You know how terrible that would look on me? Please, Your Highness, don't make me get a mohawk. You don't have to get a mohawk if you don't want one.
Ghosh was very pleased with Nakia, her appetite in particular. Nothing pleases a farmer more than to see somebody clean a plate of vegetables like she does.
Oh, is Ghosh a farmer? Is he the farmer for us? Oh, okay.
Looks like Rainwall fell to the Godwins. That city was in Barrow's territory. Whether it's Godwin's army or the prince's, it's destined to be occupied.
Thanks, Tongue, for stumbling me.
I got a nasty feeling that if the Godwins have their way, they'll have a field day with it.
I'm sure we'll be taking it back eventually.
Hi, puppy.
I wish there was a door on this side. Like, I feel like, so on the other side, you've got this, you know, this triangular protrusion coming right up to the edge. I feel like that should be this side, since you've got the doorway right over here. Otherwise, I mean, what's the point of having the doorway right there, and this doorway here, when to get over there, you gotta walk all the way around. It's bad design, Sindar. Bad design. So not a whole lot different in here. Is there something else that I was going to do? Oh, let's let's go grab the seedlings. I can always put them back if I can't actually do anything with them. But if Ghosh is a farmer, if he is the farmer for the game, I couldn't remember who was. I guess we'll find out. And down we go. Ah, here you guys are. Looks like it'll be expanding more soon. Alright, you're saying the same thing, okay. You know what? I'm just thinking, because there is something that can happen. I'm not sure exactly where it can happen, but we will kind of want to have a party for it. So I'm going to try to be a little careful. Hey, Zunda.
Oh, you brought a new window. Oh, you brought a new window set? Let me have a little look.
Handed over window set 4, handed over window set 7. Let's see, window set 4 is awfully red. Window set 7 is not all that different from what we're using. So we're missing 5 and 6 so far. I don't know if there may be an 8. I'm not sure. Let's try this for a little while.
Prince, what should we do now?
Well, explore our castle, of course. Well,
I was worried this would turn out to be another Lelkar, but thankfully there were relatively few casualties. Fortunately, many of the beavers were able to flee into the river. That saved quite a lot of them.
You're not talking about the expanded castle?
It's been decades since Silva and I have worked together.
Why has it been decades? Seems a little odd. Whatever. Empty room. Empty room. Looks like someone's probably going to be living here. 2 beds. I'm not sure if that means anything. Oboro Detective Agency. Hey, all right. Oh. Why aren't you guys here? Damn it! I was hoping I could immediately get some results.
Cheerful woman. The princess is facing great hardship. All the more reason that we must all do what we can. Don't forget, Your Highness. The princess wants you here more than anybody else.
Gears. That is a lot of gears. That kind of looks like a really weird orrery. Kind of expected Sorensen to be there, but he's not. Aha! Library! Oh, there you are, Sorensen.
When the ruins were activated, the water drained out of Ceras Lake, right? There's only one.
Oh, it's the same thing. Never mind.
I shall set up this room as my archive. If you happen upon any ancient tomes, please bring them here.
I have some.
Ah, this tome you have fetched for me is precisely what I desired.
Handed over old book 1, 2, 5, 7, 8. Okay, let's read. Let's do some reading. The story of creation. The story of creation. In the beginning, all that existed was darkness. For a long, long time, darkness lived in solitude, growing ever so lonely. Out of sorrow and despair, darkness shed a tear. From the tear were born 2 brothers, the sword and shield. Sword claimed it could cut through all that exists. Shield claimed itself impenetrable. Thus, the conflict was born, a truly vicious conflict lasting 7 days and 7 nights. In the end, sword breached shield, and shield shattered sword. Pieces of sword rained down to make the sky. Pieces of shield rained down to make the ground. Stars were created from the sparks of that battle. The 27 gems adorning the sword and shield transformed into the 27 true runes, and thus began the world as we know it. The Sun Rune and the Night Rune. The Sun Rune and the Night Rune. Long, long ago, the Sun Rune and the Night Rune were born into the world. Their existences intertwined. They had a strong bond between them, as one controlled light while the other reigned over darkness. Before long, however, the Night Rune became annoyed by the dazzling brilliance of the Sun Rune. The Night Rune could stand it no longer. Turning itself into a sword, the Night Rune severed the bond between them and went off on its own. Alright, and that is, of course, the, oh, shoot, what's it called? That was Victor's sword. That's the Night Rune. Don't see it in this game. Obviously, well, actually that makes sense, because it's still in a cave in, Suikoden 1. In the lands of Suikoden 1. So, yeah, you wouldn't see that one. But again, it's kind of questionable as to whether the Night Rune and the Sun Rune are officially two separate runes. It might have been answered by Word of God, and I just can't remember. But I don't think it has been. So it's kind of a question as to whether the Sun and the Night Rune are essentially one of the 27 true runes, or two of the 27 true runes. From the fragments of the bond left behind, the Dawn Rune and the Twilight Rune were born. Ever since the Sun Rune lost its other half, legend has it that these two new runes have remained by its side, acting as guardians. So, yeah, I think it is. It's like the Gate Rune, the front Gate Rune and the back Gate Rune that Leknat and Windy had. And the sword and the Black Sword and Bright Shield, which are technically one rune separated. Royal family succession conflict. This tragedy started under the reign of Queen Olhazeta in the late 210s of the new capital calendar. Princess Falzram. This is an old book? This is not that old! Second in line to the throne, began maneuvering to win over the majority of the Senate, wanting her sister, Princess Shahrawar, to give up her right of succession and take it for herself. Rumor has it that the Barrows family was the real force behind all this scheming, as they had married one of their members to Princess Falzram. Because both Queen Olhazeta's and Princess Shahraw's husbands were from the Godwin family, the Barrows family became terrified of the possibility of losing their influence in the Senate and royal family. Thus, they would use Princess Falzram in an attempt to seize the right of succession. It is unclear as to whether all, or even some of these rumors surrounding the Barrows family are true. Regardless of the Barrows family's ambitions, however, it does appear that Princess Falzram herself really did have designs on the throne. The situation quickly grew antagonistic between the Godwin and Barrows families, each of whom supported one of the two princesses, and even the aristocracy that supported the two families got mixed up in the hostilities. Queen Olhazeta, once known for her brilliance and decisiveness, was getting old and she no longer had the strength to resolve the situation. Armed force was never officially used, but a Cold War raged between the two factions, one that used every conceivable form of subterfuge. And what could be considered the culmination of this secret strife was the sacred games of Princess Ashtat. Even though Princess Shahraw's daughter Haswar was older than Ashtat and therefore had a higher priority of succession, Princess Falzram and Lord Barrows tenaciously persuaded Queen Olhazeta into letting them hold the sacred games for their oldest child, Ashtat, before Haswar's sacred games. This was, of course, a strategy of Princess Falzram's to lend credibility to the idea that she herself was the predominant successor. But amazingly, the one who won Princess Ashtat's hand in marriage at these sacred games was a barbaric swordsman from a foreign land. If either the Barrows or the Godwin family had won, the possibility of a rise to arms had been expected. This outcome then, ironically, led to a cooling down of the antagonism between the two factions. But that peace only lasted until 226, when Queen Olhazeta passed away. With the prospect of the actual throne so close at hand, antagonism was rekindled even before the mourning period for the queen was over, and that antagonism turned instantaneously into a bloody struggle. And throughout this struggle, Nethergate's nefarious influence was the cause of most of the bloodshed. Nethergate is usually under the direct control of the queen, but the throne was vacant during this time. And so Nethergate played both sides, executing assassinations for both Princess Shahrazad's and Princess Falzram's factions. Nethergate's ultimate goal was to cling to power no matter which side acceded to the throne. In the end, though, their actions brought unprecedented bloodshed to the Sun Palace. This war of succession saw countless victims, as many from both the Godwin and Barrows factions were slain. In the end, even the husbands of the two princesses themselves were assassinated. Not wanting to see any more bloodshed, Princess Shahrar, not having a very strong personality by nature, lost the will to fight and gave up the throne to her younger sister. But Princess Falzram had become suspicious of anything and everything. She thought that even this noble gesture of Princess Shahrar's might be a trick. Thus she ordered Nethergate to assassinate her older sister. After acceding to the throne, Queen Falzram died of illness only 2 short years later. After all the bloodshed that had occurred, this ending was hardly dramatic. These years of internal conflict and intrigue have left a brutal scar on the Queendom of Falena. This scar will not easily nor quickly heal. But the Princesses Arshtat, Sealides, and Haswar are determined to never repeat their mother's mistakes. Many feel that this will certainly be the Queendom's salvation.
That's not an old book! That's like 10 years old!
Old Book 7. The Art of One-on-One Duels. If your opponent guards, the only way to wound him is with an attack. You won't produce dramatic results with just one attack, but a steady barrage should eventually lead you to victory. When your opponent attacks, he leaves himself open. This is a perfect opportunity to hit him with your special move. Conversely, if your opponent goes for a special move, it's vital that you stay calm and take up a defensive guard stance. You can fend off your opponent's move and even make a searing counterattack. Even more important is the ability to instantly perceive what your opponent is going to do and react quickly. You can't win without being decisive. Did I not start my timer? I don't think I started my timer. Hold on a second. Yeah, definitely did not start my timer. Well, this episode might run long. We'll see. Sometimes both you and your opponent will attack at the same time and wind up in a deadlock. The only thing that'll give you the upper hand in situations like these is strength. Be aggressive! And finally, one more thing. If your opponent is about to go down, he might hit you with a last-ditch counterattack. You have to be ready to decide what to do in an instant, and heaven help you if you make a mistake. That's all. May victory be yours. Old Book 8. War. All about military units. Infantry advances on foot, defending against arrows with shields and heavy armor. However, this unit lacks mobility and is vulnerable to cavalry. With their great mobility, cavalry can overrun infantry. But their thin armor leaves them vulnerable to archer attack. Archers are formidable against the lightly armored cavalry. However, their attacks are ineffective against infantry units, which are excellent at defending arrow attacks. Combat ships transport a large number of infantry ready to transfer to enemy ships for hand-to-hand combat. However, because the soldiers on deck are defenseless, combat ships are vulnerable to archer attack. Ships specialized in ramming attacks on other ships are called rams. Obviously. With their thick armor, archer attacks do little damage, but their small crews make rams vulnerable to combat ships coming up alongside them. Archer ships post a large number of archers on deck and specialize in long-range attacks. They have the advantage over combat ships, but are rather defenseless against rams. Some archer units or archer ships have the word rune attached to their unit names. These units can perform powerful magic attacks, so they should be utilized whenever possible. However, keep in mind that they have a limited amount of magic attacks. The strengths and weaknesses of a military unit depend greatly on the ability of its commander. Knowing how to form a great unit requires a lot of trial and error. War, a complete tactical guide. A commander of an army must have the vision for much more than simply winning battles. Ideally, he must not only keep damage to his troops to a minimum, but also bring about a speedy victory. 1. Advance quickly. The quicker the conclusion to warfare, the better. Loss of life can be held to a minimum, and many benefits may be reaped as well. Lure the enemy away. If complete destruction of the main enemy force is your goal, eliminate the enemies surrounding that main force. Identify as many of the enemy units that surround the main force as you can, lure them away one by one, and destroy them. Don't pursue the enemy too far. If
If you make too deep an incursion into enemy territory, enemy units might surround you and you'll be unable to retreat. Any unit, no matter how strong, is likely to get wiped out in the face of overwhelming firepower. 4. Destroy enemy units completely. An enemy unit might sometimes possess valuable equipment or precious items. In order to obtain these, you must destroy that unit completely. These war trophies can help you in future battles too. Obviously. Old Book 11. Trading Trade Secrets. Trading Trade Secrets. Number 1. Buy low, sell high. If you're dumb, you will buy high and sell low. This is the most basic of principles when it comes to trade. Do the opposite and you'll lose out. Anyone who doesn't understand this basic principle has no business being in commerce. 2. Do your legwork. The price of tradable items are completely different from town to town. Get those legs working. Find out for yourself which towns sell cheap and which buy high. 3. Believe those rumors. You can trust that gossip you hear at trading posts. It would never lie to you clearly. When the prices of tradable items change dramatically, that's your chance to make a big profit. Keep your ears open. 4. Build up your achievements. The better your performance in trade, the more profitable items you'll be allowed to sell. Even if the profit margin isn't very high at first, if you steadily plug away at selling daily essentials, your achievements will surely be recognized. Now that you've taken your first steps toward becoming a great merchant, let me leave you with these words. Every merchant should know not to rejoice too much over a profit or lament too much over a loss.
And that's all of the books. That we have so far, at least. If Admiral? Oh, hey.
Cheer up, Your Highness. After all, we're going to rescue the princess, right?
Eventually, yeah.
The Elder likes pine trees. What? No, we don't eat them. We use them to build stuff. They feel so good when you gnaw on them, though.
Oh, hey, how's it going? Ah. So we can look at our map. So let's see. Let me pull up my map. Yeah. So at the top of the map, top right corner, there's a little outcropping with a little island off the coast. There's another outcropping to the north of that with a large island. And a bit north of that island is where Nerva is. I don't know who controls that larger island. It's literally right off the coast, but the map that I'm looking at doesn't have it colored in any country's color. And interestingly enough, the lands directly north of here are still part of the Flaming Queendom, and it's a lot of area, too. But it's like there's nothing obvious there. So I wonder whether if it's just like solid mountains or not. You can see the white writing in the bay and the brown writing just on shore. That's where Hirschville Naval Base is, which we heard mention of. Let's see. And there's a couple places here that we have not been to yet. To the south of that. And the Nagaria Theocracy is directly south of that. The map I have does not show exactly what their land is like. So, alright. That's the map. Can we actually look at it that way? Yeah, we can just look directly at the map that way. Neat. So it looks like that goes outside. What do we have over here? Sable! Hey, Din, how's it going?
It doesn't matter how the enemy portrays themselves, they're still the same traitors. As long as we keep fighting as well as we have been, we can win this war.
I'm not sure if there's anyone else from Sable who will hang around in there, though. Lord Lake?
Everything's gonna be okay. Lord Lake will return to how it used to be, and Beaver Lodge will be fixed up in no time.
No one's in here with you, huh? This room is empty.
Bandit?
Hey, Roy, how's it going?
When are we gonna have a chance at some action?
I don't know.
We used to be bandits, but everyone here treats us like friends. It's weird. No one's ever been this nice to us before.
Nice place you got here. I think I like it.
Good for you, I guess? Is this room empty right now? That room is empty. That is a very odd-looking room. I am not sure whose room this is gonna be. Maybe the beavers? Lelkar?
Hey guys, you guys have no beds. Godwin's trying to tell us the slaughter of the beavers is in our national interest. I can't believe I supported that madman.
I can't believe you supported that madman either.
So Godwin has a new queen at last. It's too bad we couldn't stop him before this happened.
Don't worry, we'll still stop him.
Your Highness, I'm so sorry.
This room has not been allocated yet. Huh. Oh. Interesting. Don't know what that is yet. I missed what that said. Oh, Barrows. Lucerina isn't in there. Josephine? Josephine has a room of her own?
How dare he try to reduce this land to a single race, a single culture, a single fashion sense! No civilization can survive without diversity. Diversity is the key to fashion.
I like you a little bit more, Josephine. As weird as you are.
Zavala came here too.
That's the same thing. Everyone is gone here from here now. Ah, Egbert, you're still here.
Your Highness, for generations, the Aethelbald family has passed down the simplified war game played on a board. There are 3 variations of the game, each simple yet profound. Please, give it a try if you have some time.
Play a game? Sure, I guess. I didn't know you had a game, actually. I'm not planning to actually play it. Screw it. Let's just begin. Oh, Checkers, Entrapment, and Conqueror. That's okay. Maybe we'll do that later. Yeah. I did not know that... I did not remember that he had a minigame.
What's going on here? There's even more women than before. What are you doing, putting together a harem?
No.
Idiot. Shouldn't have called him back. He's driving me up the wall.
Richard looks so happy. And it's just guest room. Okay. Hey, Belcoot. How's it going? Yep. Yep. That's the same thing. Okay. Alright, so somewhere, we're supposed to get into a possible battle. I'm not sure exactly where. I'm a little worried about where that'll be. That's one of the reasons why I'd like to talk to everyone first.
So Nethergate's back. I'm going to take down those monsters for good.
Not sure what's actually over this... Oh. A wall. Okay. There is a wall over that way. Fair enough. Actually not go back in here just yet. As long as we're out here, we can explore this area a little bit. Ah, yes.
Just who does Godwin think he is? Madder now than when Lord Lake was scorched.
Hey, wow, look at how happy he is.
Hey, Prince, let's plant a vegetable field here. This castle could use some greenery. I used to grow vegetables in Lord Lake. They all withered away 2 years ago. Don't worry, though. I'm not mad at you anymore. I'm not even mad at the Queen anymore. Anyway, I'll fix up this place real good for you. Just bring me some seeds and saplings, and I'll be all set.
Okay.
Oh, you brought a seedling for me? I'll plant it right away.
Hand it over. Tomato seedling, melon seedling, grape seedling, onion seedling, cabbage seedling, potato seedling, carrot seedling, red pepper seedling. Current farm crops. It looks like we've got it all but one. May have to go look to see what is missing. Alright, can't get further down. Fair enough. There's a doorway here. Huh. Okay. Doorway to nowhere. We cannot enter. Fair enough. Let's go back in here for a moment. Actually, where is... Alright, so we're still missing where the newspaper is. So it's probably down here somewhere. Maybe out here. Neat symbology on the wall. Oh, oops. Oh, wow, there are a lot of issues. I don't know if I want to read them all right now. Maybe later. Maybe later. Sociable youth. I think I've seen Bernadette before. Or maybe I'm just thinking of someone else. I don't know anybody who reminds me of her. Maybe I saw a painting of her somewhere.
This is my first trip to Helena. I'm having so much trouble remembering the names of all these people and places.
That's okay. What does this look like? Oh, hello.
It's nice not having to worry about your next meal.
Detached room corridor. Huh. Hey, now we actually get to see the, Doremi elves. Can't talk to them.
Mediocrity! What are we going to look for the Do-Re-Mi elves? You won't find any unless I'm with you, you know. You do understand that, yes?
Yes, kind of. This just goes back to, have a section? Yep. Alright. I don't know where Taylor is. He's not in my party, is he? No? I don't know. Well, let's go out this way. Detached room corridor. Whatever that means. Oh. Interesting. Looks like there'll be something right there. A shop of some sort, perhaps. Ooh, this is actually kind of nice. Hey, Lun.
How could they do something like this? I hope Mayroon is alright.
And this just goes back over there. Yep. It's actually kind of nice. That the bridge is more than just a bridge.
We beavers would have been slaughtered if it wasn't for you, Prince. Thank you.
No problem.
If you need me to do anything, just let me know, Prince.
And here we've got Subala's fishing.
Hey, Prince, want to go fishing?
Not yet. Chicken. I'm going to need to do that, though.
I seem to remember something lived in this lake. I can't quite recall.
And we can still take Log's ship. Get out of here, birds. Uh-oh. Giant snake. Scream. Oh, crap. This is sort of what I was expecting to come up eventually. Let's see. Formation. Rearrange. Where is Twin Slash? There we go. Formation skill is 1.2 times damage blanket attack. Let's try it. Whee! Okay. Ow. Let's go with cooperative attack. Sworn Protector.
Here we go. Prince.
Well, got a Howling Orb.
No need to get all worked up.
You gonna come on screen, Ghetto? Ah, there you are.
Hiss.
You have come to tell us something, have you not? Well, then, you may tell it to me.
Scree.
Ah, yes. You couldn't be more clear. Thank you. This snake is called Byakuren. She has lived peacefully in this lake for many years. Many years. But then you noisy humans moved in, making so much noise. So much noise. Not only that, but humans have soiled the water and stolen her food. So sad. So sad.
I think the emulator is telling me to speed it up.
She tried to scare you off, but she was no match for your strength. So now she must leave.
Incidentally, there's another character that we don't have yet who you could recruit this. You could recruit Byakuren with. So it's either Geno or this other character that we don't have yet. But the thing is that, you know, since you don't have the other guy yet, this would be a missable character if you had this battle right now and you didn't have Geno. We're very sorry, we didn't know. Rather than leave, why not join us?
That's a fine idea. I rather like the idea of having more creatures in the neighborhood to converse with. What say you, Byakuren? It may be difficult for one as large as yourself to find another home.
Hiss.
She said she loathes the thought of leaving the lake she grew up in. She will stay here a while longer and lend you her assistance. Oh, so nice to have other beasts around.
You've befriended Byakuren.
Is this the Byakuren I've heard so much about lately?
Couldn't resist that one. It even works because it's from a Gamera film. Anyway, alright, that's probably about it. Oh, hello, Byakuren. So, yeah, we'll call this an episode. In the next one, we'll get to more recruiting. I've got one down, quite a few to go. See you then, everyone.